Alright guys, so I know I talked a little bit on Instagram on what's going on with my hood. My hood was turning yellow. Maybe I have a picture I could put up. It's turning yellow on this section right here, which again it's totally, I totally understand why, you know, the turbine housing just gets way too hot. And if you're on the highway, you're just ripping on the highway, you know, just driving. You're not paying, you're not really paying attention on if it's how hot it's getting. But the point is, so there was a lot of centralized heat coming off of there, and it was just burning the paint. That's all that was happening. So what I did was I added this plate here. I mean, I figure a white car diamond plate won't look that bad. So it's not just diamond plate, because on the back side of it, it has this material also. So as most of you know, I have a white car, and in order for me to protect the hood from yellowing, I'm deciding to put this. Now, you might say, that's only a chunk of diamond plate. No, what this is first of all, it looks better than just a flat piece. Second of all, it's aluminum. Third, I added a layer on the back side of this DEI reflecticool, supposed to withstand radiant heat protection of 2000 degrees Fahrenheit and continuous temperatures of 400 degrees. So I'm gonna have this layer on the back side, and then you'll be able to have another protection, because aluminum dissipates heat. So as this part will get hot, but it's good at dissipating heat. So any little air moving through it or whatever will help dissipate the heat. Plus, I'll have this back here to protect it, to protect the hood. So if anything, any heat get past this, it'll still have to deal with the fiberglass, because this is a layer of fiberglass and is reflective. So, but I'm gonna have this part up, so that way I'm just using the fiberglass protection, and then I'll have the diamond plate sticking out on the hood like this. So that way when I close the hood, this will sit right where the turbo is, and it'll basically withstand the heat that the turbo is. Put that there. On top of that, I am gonna put a turbo blanket on it, just because it keeps the heat in and doesn't let it disperse out into the engine bay too much. It's still gonna get hot, but just not as hot. And I've ran with the turbo blanket on, and it didn't burn my paint. So luckily, this part is untouched. It looks beautiful, still nice and white, but just the ribbing here started to get a little yellow. So in an attempt to keep that from getting any worse, I put this plate on here. That way it kind of covers the ugly look, and on top of that, it'll help, because it's not just diamond plate that's there. It also has this fiberglass layer on top of here. So, and there's a spacer that I have in there, as you can see, 2 nylon spacers, and those 2 spacers are so it doesn't pinch my line. And I ran that line to my windshield washer. I ran that line behind there because I don't want that to melt either. These little pieces here were actually starting to get yellow on there too, so I covered them up, put them behind that part, and now it might be okay. I'm gonna drive the car with it like this until I get my turbo blanket. I did order it. I ordered a PTP turbo blanket. That's the one that I did have here before, and it was over the years. I just really used it, taking it off, putting it on, and it just got really brittle. So I threw it out when I took the engine apart. So now I ordered another one so I could put back on it. So yeah, I got that ordered. That's gonna help with the heat from that section there. So that's it. That's the only thing I wanted to show you guys, the update on this thing. I didn't post it on Instagram because I wanted to say what was the concept behind it. I didn't just want to post it and get all these questions. Why don't you just put a blanket on? I am gonna put a blanket on it. I'm just put that there so it could kind of block some heat and to keep that section from getting any worse. So, and here's a better view of it. I actually had to cut out this section because it was riding on top of there. So I cut that little section out, put a little some of that heat tape on there also. And I think it came out pretty good. Now this is heat tape. Same stuff. This is just the old stuff, and this is a new piece that I added on there. The first time I tried to put that one on there, really didn't want to stick, so I had to really clean that before I put that on there. But these stuck really nice on there. So with a little heat, that'll all blend in and look the same. I didn't put any up here. I'm sorry, up here, because that's not really that much heat. From this point on here, this is where it probably hits like right around here. So from this point, that's probably here and forward, which that's not really where there's heat. So that's why I just made the cutoff here and just kept this whole section as a hot zone, basically. So basically that's just to protect the paint here. Okay, so I know this part is gonna start turning yellow. Hopefully I could put the blanket on it and kind of help it. I might wrap the downpipe again, which I really didn't want to, but it's looking kind of shitty, so I'm gonna end up wrapping it up as well. I might end up going 4-inch, but I did this little pie cut section here because I wanted to make sure I had enough like big flow. If anyone has seen my old setup, it was just like cut and triangular. So I ended up doing like a nice little pie cut section. It's, for my welding skills, that's not too bad. But yeah, that's it. So I might end up wrapping that downpipe again, and I already have the turbo blanket on the way. So I think that's it. Hope you guys like it. It's different.